Hi guys, I hope this video doesn't do like the last video. For some reason I've noticed that the last couple of videos I've done that the beginning of the video has been cut off. So hope I'm going to fix that this time. But anyway, I wanted to show you what we're going to do today. I showed it in my last video I did of me cleaning off my desk, and this is it. This is a traveler's notebook. Has an elastic closure, and it has the pages are held in by elastic, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. My mom wanted a couple. Here's two I did. It's one very similar to this one, except it's got more yellow in it in the paper. So I'm going to show you how to do these today. It's really easy. I don't know the measurements, but I'm going to give them to you for those of you who need the measurements. But what I do is I take this sheet, and this is, let me show you what it is. I get it at Walmart. It's Scotch thermal laminating pouches. Comes in a bag of 50. I don't remember how much it was, but you get quite a few. So I take this bag, or this pouch, and I open it up. And it's hard to find the opening. There it is. And I just stick this piece of paper in here, and you want to give yourself an edge of this laminating paper on the edge of the paper over there. So I pull it down to about like that. I just don't like measuring things. Like that. I take a pen. In fact, I think I'm going to close it up. About like that, and I mark it right there. Now then, this is, let's get it out and measure it for you guys. That is 8.5 by, oh, and I cut the 8.5 by, where's my other little tick mark? There it is, 8.5 by, oh, we could go ahead and say 11, 8.5 by 11. And we'll see if that fits. 8.5 by 11. I'll write it down on a piece of paper. 8.5 by 11. And let's see if this fits. Oh yeah, it fits. Like I said, you want to leave some of the lamination about at least 1/4 of an inch all the way around your board. Now you just want to leave this in here and take your laminating machine and turn it on. I put mine on 5. I don't know, 3 may do it. But I put it on 5 just to be on the safe side. And it only takes it a minute to heat up. When the light turns green, it's ready. Mine is Scotch. This is the laminating machine that I told you guys I got with my points that I earned from my Walmart app. That Walmart app is really neat. I mean, a lot of times I only got back 50 cents, 30 cents, $1. Every once in a while I get back 2 something. That was really exciting. But that adds up pretty quick over time. It's like a change jar. You know how fast change adds up in a jar? Well, that kind of adds up quick on that Walmart app. And before I knew it, I had $50. And that's how I bought this laminating machine. Should be just about ready. I feed the closed end in first. This is the opened end. This is the side I want to feed in last. I want to feed this end in first. Okay, it's ready, so we're just going to feed this through here. Oh, I just realized I forgot to score it. We may have to make another one. I usually score my paper before I laminate it, but we'll try it this way. I may be saving myself a step here, who knows? There was a cat hair in there. There's a release button right here on this. I don't find that I need it. I don't understand what it's for unless it's continuing sheets that are connected, but this comes right out by itself. I don't have to use that release button. It just comes right out. Now that's good and laminated right there. Now I'm just going to turn this off, set this aside. And then if it's not 1/4 of an inch, I trim it down. So this side's a little more than 1/4 of an inch, so I'm going to trim it down a little bit. Like that. I think I'll trim this side down a little bit. I think that's good. Let me get my scoring board. So 1/2 of 11 is 5 1/2. So we're going to score this at 5 1/2. Oh yeah, I might have saved myself a step by laminating this first. Who knows? And then I'm going to go to the next 1/8 of an inch mark over and score it again. I'm going to go to the next mark over and score again. Now I'm going to go back to the 1/2 mark and I'm going to go over 1 mark and score. I'm scoring pretty hard. I'm really pressing down. Not hard enough to tear or poke a hole, but okay, go over to the next mark. There we go. We want a total of 5 score marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's see if we can bend this. This is the part that'll tell us whether or not I needed to do it before. You want to score on each one of those lines. Oh, it looks like that one scored pretty easy, but it's getting in between there that's going to be a booger. Oh yeah, I think I'm going to get it. It's going to be hard, but it can be done. And there's 2. Yeah, it's going to be really hard. I think it'd be easier if you score your paper first and then score your lamination after you get it out of the laminating machine. But this can be done if you forget. It can be done. I'm on my 4th one. It's really hard. And now my last score mark. Somehow or another, I didn't do something right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I need one more. Simply because it's not lining up straight. Okay, now we're lining up straight. So there we have it. Let's get this out of the way. Now we need to punch some holes. I have the long arm crocodile, whatever you call this monster of a thing. And it's great because it reaches in the center where we need to punch a hole at. And I use my Tim Holtz ruler and find my center. And I find the center on the paper, not the lamination, just the paper. So from the paper, the center of the paper, you've got 4 1/4 on each end. So right here's my center. Right there. So I need 1 hole there, and then I need 3 holes down here. And I just eyeball it. 1, 2, 3. And I did that about 1/2 inch in. I'm going to do the same thing down here, 1/2 inch end of the paper. 1, 2, 3. Well, 3 across there. And then I take my big bite here, or whatever it's called, and I punch 3 holes. Just like that. You see that? Turn it around and punch 3 holes again. Just like that. And they don't have to be perfect. Just the one in the center needs to be in the center. We need to do that one. It does need to be in the center. So find your center on that one, and you want to poke the hole right in the middle of those score marks, the middle score mark. So just like this. Okay, so now we can move that out of the way. You'll need some round cord elastic. I get mine from Walmart for 5 yards of it in a thing. You can do about, I think you can do about 3 journals out of one package. And I just pull it loose like this. Okay, you want to go in the first hole. You want to go in this hole, up to the top, to the same hole on the same side, on the right hand side. Go in. Okay, I'm going to flip this towards me. You want to go back in the second hole or the middle hole. Go in the middle hole. Pull this towards me. Now I'm going to need some more, so I'm going to loosen this up and pull it. Go down in the middle hole at the bottom. Turn this to the side so I can see it, and I want to go in the left hand hole at the bottom. Come up. Go to the top. Go in the left hand hole. Flip this over. We need some more string, so I'm going to pull some more out. Okay, then we're going to go in the middle hole. Up through the middle hole. And we're going to leave that there, right there. You're going to pull this snug. You're going to pull all your strings snug. You don't want them tight, you just want it snug against the paper. Okay, and then this is going to come up and to the middle to tie with this string. So I want to guess about how much I'm going to need, and I think I'll need about that much. So I'm going to cut it right there. Drop this one out of your hand. Go to the back side, take this cord, and go in the middle. Come up through the middle. And then you're simply going to tie this in the middle. Just like that. I tie mine twice, just for good measure, as tight as I can tie it. And then cut your strings. And there you have your strings for your books. Now for your closure, let's see, I had a piece. Here it is. You take these two ends. From the outside, you go in through the middle hole. I have to do one at a time. There we go. And I want to take those two strings that came up and I want to put two strings on each side. Do you see how I have this? There's two strings on each side. I want those to come up, my closure to come up through between those two on each side. Now, take this. Let's see, we don't need this much, so I'm going to take, well, I won't be able to use it. Pull this in until you have this stretched to the side of your closure. You want it to come just right to the edge. See how I have that with my thumb? Just almost to the edge. It lacks about 1/4 of an inch coming to the edge. That's where I want it. Now flip it back over. Put your fingernails right up against the edge of the journal and mark your spot. Now pull it through. Don't lose your spot. Right there where your nails are is where your spot is. Now that's where you want your knot to be. So I switched hands so I could tie it with my left hand. And I want my knot right there where my nails are. That's my where I marked my spot. And pull it tight. Now then just cut this off. Pull this back out. And you have a closure just like that. Very easy. And for your paper, it's just as easy. Take your ruler, measure your paper only from the middle of your journal. We have about 5 1/4 inches, so that's going to be 10 1/2 all the way across, and then we have 8 1/2 this way. Well, we have 8. It's almost 8 1/2. I'm going to go ahead and, no, I don't want it more than that. I'm going to say 8 1/4. A little more than 8 1/4. So what'd we say? 5 1/4. So we said 10 1/2 by 8 1/4. So take a few sheets of paper. I'm do about 3 at a time. Do 10 1/2. Mine was 8 1/4, and I'm going to do 8 1/4. Make it easy on myself. 10 1/2, 8 1/4. There's 3 sheets. Ten and a half. By 8 1/4. Okay, let's see how many pieces of paper we've got here. I was just picking them up by the handfuls. I take about 5 sheets at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I simply fold them in half. It's best if you take a bone folder. Open it up to your middle page. Take this, pick up one of your strings, and just stick 1/2 through there. Pull it to the middle. Oh, I forgot something. We gotta cut these pages shorter. They have to go in between these holes. I forgot. So they need to be 7 1/2. Sorry about that. It's been several days since I made one of these, so put this back in here and cut it at 7. So we've got 10 1/2 and 7 1/2. Now that should fit in there nicely. Yes, very nicely. Just like that. Take another 10 sheet or 5 sheets. We need to cut them down to 7.5. Fold them in half. Pick up the middle one, or the second one. I'm skipping one. I usually skip one and save it for something else. There's our second signature. How many we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna cut these again. Oops. Ten and a half by 7.5. Fold it in half. Now you could use this like a junk journal, and you could have put any kind of paper in here. You don't have to put just plain paper in here. You could put all kinds of paper in here. Just cut it down to the size that you need. There we go. And there's our traveler's notebook. Just like that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section below the video, and I will get back to you. What I would do different than what I did here in the video is when you get ready to cut your sheet of paper, put it in the laminating sheet. What did we say we were going to cut it at? We were going to cut it at 8.5 by 11. After you cut your designer paper down to 8.5 and 11, put it in your scoring tool and score at 5.5. And then 2 marks past 5.5 and 2 marks before 5.5. Fold on those score lines, all 5 score lines. Then put it in your laminating sheet, run it through the laminator. When you take it out of the laminator, put it back on your score tool and score on those same score lines. You want to score on the same score lines. Then fold your laminating sheet again. You'll have to refold it, and it'll be a lot easier than doing it the way I did it today. If I could find, my mother left me some paper here. I wish I could find it. I would make another one, but I don't have it with me. But if you have any questions, just leave me a question in the comment section below and I'll get back with you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll make one. If you do, let me know. I'd like to see it. Send me a picture. They're real fun, and they're nice, and you can wipe them off and wipe them clean. If you spill something on them, you can put them in your purse. They're good and sturdy. I really like them. So anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.